obviously a pinnacle leader of this team and so much experience and history of being successful in the playoffs. Yeah, you miss him, but in playoffs you have all sorts of adversity and next man up mentality. So we'll miss him, but we'll do everything we can to fill that void.
We've seen you slide in for Rope multiple times, but sliding in for him with Rope and Jason, what's the difference?
Not much. I mean, the mentality is the same. Like I said, next man up, and go out there and do your job no matter who you're with. Focus on your own details. That's all you can do at this point of the year. You get in these games, a lot of times you're playing with so many different guys. Things can happen like double overtimes on a Monday. You just don't know what's going to happen. So you focus on that next shift and staying in that moment, and that's all you can do.
Emotionally, how does it maybe fuel this team's performance if Joe's out to continue to play for him and rally around that?
Yeah, I mean, it was discussed earlier. I mean, the best thing you could do for Joe is, win games so he can come back and play. We don't know what his status is, obviously, and he will be missed. But I know he's got a lot of faith in us as well of the job we can do.
What was addressed in the meetings just a moment ago?
Stuff to work on and stuff we did good.
Tyler, you know it's going to be a long season, like you said. You know these series are going to be long, but when you have an exhaustive 2 overtime game to start it, what does that do to the whole tone of the series when it starts like that?
Yeah, it's quite the tone. It's exciting for both sides. I mean, we're all hockey players, and we all love it. We all love those moments. If you got a ticket to the game last night, it was an incredible hockey game. If you're a little kid, maybe it was a little tough one for being so late, but that's what happens with scheduling sometimes.
What was the process for you when it's all over with? Like when you leave here last night, how long before you can even wind down?
Close your eyes and hope for the best. I don't know if anyone's going to sleep before 4 or 5, but both sides got to deal with it.
Was that hit properly legislated in your view?
Tough to say. I haven't fully looked at it. I don't know if he's personally trying to knock out Joe, but it was dangerous. It was late. I think at the end of the day, maybe it was his stick that hit him last, and maybe that's what they're reviewing. But I don't know. Pete said after the game, and I agree with it, the refs got an incredibly hard job to do, and they're the best in the world at what they do. So you got to respect their judgments at times.
It's an incredibly physical sport, but is it still difficult when it's all said and done to see a teammate in that circumstance?
100%. You want to rally around it. It leaves a pit in your stomach when things like that happen. It's emotional. It's a hard guy to lose, and we had to do everything we can to respond for him.
Overall, with officiating, when there are calls that are made or missed, whatever, how do you, like the high stick against you that went on call, like how do you move on from that, especially in key moments, and stay kind of engaged?
That's part of the playoff process is, not letting too many distractions get in the even keels of the highs and lows. Sometimes you're going to get calls you maybe don't think you deserved, and sometimes they're going to miss them. And it's such a fast-paced game out there, especially in playoffs, and there's so much emotion that I'm sure the refs don't want to be on the negative side of all the calls as well. It's like that in any sport. So as a player, you can control where you can control. Sometimes you might yell at the ref, but you got to make sure it doesn't let you distract you from doing your job.
I'm trying to remember, was that the longest game that you've ever played in last night, or was there a long? I don't remember if there was.
I had one in Chicago in the finals in Boston.
Okay.
I think was double overtime maybe as well. I actually remember, for some reason I thought about today, I remember being on a draw and looking at Duncan Keith, and he looked at me and said, "Someone just scored. Let's move on. It's gonna be a long series." And so I had to keep track of it this morning.
How do you deal with the intermissions? So what do you do during the intermissions on a game that keeps on going? Hydrate, eat, 5-minute nap?
Yeah, hydrate, eat. It kind of reminds you just how quick they are. Being in it last night, I mean, you walk in and you look at the clock and it says 14 minutes, so you really got to adjust what you're doing. So I think it's nice that we got that the first night, so now everyone knows what to expect.
What role can the power play in handling a physical series?
I mean, it can be everything. Everyone knows about the special teams and how important they are in the playoffs. They can be the dictator of a whole series and a whole game. And Obviously, we had two good ones last night, but would have liked one to go in one of the overtimes.